Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Have you got tired of eating and drinking too much yet? And have you uttered those infamous words, "New year, new me"? And are you quite looking forward to heading back into the office next week? Or does it fill you with dread? Whatever you're thinking or feeling, come on in, the water is fine, because you're in great company in our own little online community here. Now, I had some amazing news today. Our podcast was featured over in Forbes magazine in their list of 15 inspiring podcasts for professionals of every stripe. So this show scraped in at number 13, and I'll just read out to you what it said in the segment. These days, technology is everyone's business. It infuses every aspect of our lives, from work to home. Neil Hughes is a tech writer and LinkedIn top voice and interviews tech entrepreneurs, CEOs and thought leaders and shares information on the latest tech developments. Whether you're looking to develop your career or business, Neil shares his great insights so you can plan your future. So a big thank you to Larry for mentioning us in Forbes and also for listening to the show. But an even bigger thank you to each and every one of you that tunes into this podcast every day throughout the year. Because without you guys and dolls, this show wouldn't exist. It would just consist of me in a room talking into a microphone on my own. But hey, on with today's show. Now, I'm always on the lookout, as you all know by now, for how technology and new solutions are seizing new opportunities out there. And there's a massive amount of opportunity at the moment in the cloud-based enterprise communication. For example, did you know that only about 5% of companies with 250 or more employees have actually moved their communications to the cloud? And that Global Market Insights forecast the unified communications market to reach a whopping $96 billion by 2023. Now, a company called Fuze was founded way back in 2006 and has now secured more than $300 million in funding from top investors, including the famous Wellington Management, which you may remember invested in Airbnb. And if we look across that digital landscape, we're seeing big tech players scrambling to get their piece of the pie at the moment, with Amazon announcing Chime, Microsoft introducing Teams, etc. But I invited Fuze CEO Colin on the show today to share his thoughts on why the unified communications market is so hot right now and how this company is poised to dramatically change the way that we all work. So buckle up, hold on tight, because I'm going to beam your ears all the way to Boston so we can speak with Fuze CEO Colin Doherty, who is waiting to share his story about the digital workplace disruption. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Colin Doherty. I'm the CEO of Fuze. Fuze is a global cloud unified communications company located in Boston, focused on large enterprises and changing the landscape of communications.
Fantastic. Now, Fuze is a global cloud-based unified communications platform, allowing the modern mobile workforce to communicate at any time and anywhere. But for anyone that is hearing about Fuze for the very first time on today's show, can you expand on what makes Fuze different from all the other UC platforms out there?
Yeah, I can. So Fuze is different because we have a platform that covers voice, video, collaboration, chat, communication, audio, conferencing, bridge, everything that you need to be able to communicate today in today's modern workplace, including sharing documents, files, screens, content, whether that's a soft client computer screen or whether that you're on a mobile phone or a laptop. So most of the competition that we come up against have slices of that solution as opposed to the broad platform that allows the communication to be much, much easier on one screen and one application.
Can you also tell me more about the opportunity that's out there in cloud-based enterprise communication? Because I believe there's only around 5% of companies with 250 or more employees have moved communications to the cloud yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think at the end of the day, people are sick of their workplace technology being way behind what they use at home today in the residential world. People are comfortable with high capacity download, over the top content, movies on demand, laptops, PDAs, fast cell phone technology, and then you go to the office and you have an old PBX, a phone on your desk, and a very slow email system. And so for us, the opportunity is enormous. There's about 400 million enterprise knowledge workers today sitting in businesses that are looking to convert to, a more modern way of communicating to facilitate their lives and their business. So, we believe that the business opportunity for us is more than $100 billion in the addressable market that we look at.
It's so true what you say there. It almost feels like we're living a double life most of the time, doesn't it? Because we come home and we can ask Amazon, Alexa, whatever in our living room. It's swipe to buy, one-click checkouts. And then, like you say, we arrive in the office and it's like, oh, we have to go back 20 years now.
Exactly. I mean, technology is the pulse of people's lives today. I mean, you look at the millennial workforce that exists. It's 2.5 billion people in the workforce today are millennials. And then you have the app generation coming up behind them. And they are just not going to put up with archaic methods of technology or communication in the workplace. They want to do things quickly, effectively, and through chat, collaboration, texting, application, video, mobile. And a lot of the enterprises that exist today do not have that type of communication set up. So we really address that and convert them to the real world.
It does feel like an incredibly exciting space to be in at the moment. And predictably, big tech players are scrambling to get a piece of the pie, with Amazon announcing Chime, Microsoft introducing Teams. But do you think that they were caught napping and a little late to the game, particularly in Microsoft's case?
Yeah, there's some big competition out there. I think the advantage we have is that we're lean, we're quick, we're small, we're flexible. It's all we do. It's 100% of our focus. Whereas some of the other players have larger businesses to protect, whether that's desktop software. Amazon are obviously an enormous company, especially at the seasonal time. There's boxes on everybody's doorstep from Amazon. They're not 100% focused on the market we are. The fact that they're interested in the market and the fact that they're involved in the market, I think, adds a lot of credence and credibility to the size of the opportunity that we're facing.
So why do you think that the UC market is so hot right now? And how at Fuze are you poised to dramatically change the way people work by seizing on those opportunities? Because I'm just thinking about people listening here and helping them visualize exactly how you're going to change how they work or how you want to, and that vision for the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of believe at Fuze, Neil, that work is something that people do. It's not a place that they go to.
Yeah.
The idea that you can go to a large office or a factory or a building and work there for 8 to 10 hours a day and leave, that's not the way the world works anymore. People are, located remotely. They work on the move. They work in hotel lobbies, on trains, airplane lounges, coffee shops, wherever. And that's the type of communication that we foster and drive, where people are on the move constantly, but they're still effective and productive. So we kind of think that the future of work is really more mobile, more video based than it is voicemail and email and the written word. And so, we're trying to take the world of millennials into the workplace today, and it's clearly the way people want to behave and want to interact.
You did mention there the world now, people are working more remotely and on the move. So what do you think about the buzz and equally the polarisation about remote and flexible work policies? And also, how do you see that evolving over the next few years?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think if you look at what's happening with consumerization of how we live today, if you look at the state of shopping malls in North America, they're kind of closing down and not really attracting the amount of buyers there anymore. That's because you can buy things online through technology. Work is a similar type of thing, Neil, where we're more concerned about the effectivity and productivity of our employees than we are necessarily the location. We're a global company. We can fuel productivity through mobile, through applications, through soft client, through chat, and it's very, very effective. We have 650 employees around the world, many of whom are located in Europe, Canada, North America, and other parts of the globe. And our interaction with our employees tends to be on video. So we video into meetings all the time. And even if we haven't physically met somebody, we know them because we've made that facial recognition connection with somebody. And so that drives energy and productivity. And like I say, we're not concerned about people being in an office. We're concerned about people being effective.
And do you think this level of digital workplace disruption will actually impact people listening in most of the 160 countries where people listen to this show? It's not just something that's predominantly in the US, is it? It's something that can be felt right across the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, for Fuze, 40% of our business today is international, and it's increasing. I think all of the chief information officers that drive enterprises, whether they're 5,000-seat enterprises today, are all looking to convert to a platform that people can't wait to use. Right now you have a lot of applications and products in businesses that people don't pick up, don't use, don't touch. But the CIO and the CFO of that organization are paying a lot of money for those bits of product. For us, we can, for instance, today we're talking to you on a soft client on a computer. We don't have a phone in the office, and it's just the way of the world. It's the current direction of businesses, and we're happy to be leading the marketplace in the UCaaS global environment.
So as we come to the end of 2017 and looking towards more opportunities next year, what's your primary focus at Fuze going to be in 2018 and beyond? I appreciate you probably can't share too much, but is there anything you can share with us today?
Yeah, listen, I think, we tend to focus on, three things: growth on the top line, profitability of the business, and globalization of our reach. And, those are the three things that we focus in on every day in 2017. They'll continue to be the focus in 18. As I said before, Neil, we got $100 billion market ahead of us, and we're growing aggressively. And we can't wait to get to 18 and drive the business forward.
Fantastic. Well, before I let you go, can you ask you to remind the listeners of where they can find out more information about Fuze, and equally ask a member of your team contact a member of your team if they've got any questions about our conversation today?
Yeah, you can find more about Fuze on Fuze.com, so it's FUZE.com. And if you're looking for more information about the company or about what we're talking about today, people could contact Lisa Walker, Walker, and Lisa heads up our PR marketing practice, and she'd be more than happy to help people if they wanted to talk further.
Well, a huge thanks for taking the time to come on the show today. With the Global Market Insights forecasting unified communications market to reach, I think, 96 billion by 2023, it shows you just the amazing scope and scale of possibilities and opportunities out there. And a big thank you for taking that time and coming on today.
Neil, you're welcome. Enjoy the holidays. Thanks for your time too.
Now, I found Colin's story of a digital workplace disruption incredibly compelling. The fact that only 5% of companies with 250 or more employees have moved their communications to the cloud is a real eye-opener in itself, and it's no surprise that Global Market Insights forecast that the unified communications market is going to reach 96 billion by 2023. And we have all seen those big tech players scrambling to get a piece of their pie after Slack caught them all napping. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we've got Amazon announcing Chime and Microsoft introducing Teams this year. But what experiences have you had with cloud-based unified communications? What has your company got right in this area? What have they got wrong, and what can they improve on? Please give me a shout and share your story, your insights by tweeting me at Neil C. Hughes, or equally emailing me at techblogwriter@outlook.com. So a big thank you for listening, and if I don't hear from any of you before, have a fantastic new year, and I will see you all in 2018. But until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.